Well, we can just do it. Oh, yeah. CD, you still in there? Yeah.
Good evening, everyone. We're going to go ahead and get started. Welcome to Jasper County School District's March Stakeholder Community Meeting. We are so glad that you are here with us. Our meeting usually starts at 6, so we moved it up to 6:30, and maybe some others will come in. This is one of two. We have one tomorrow night as well. We'll be in Ridgeland. So if you want to come back, it's going to be the same information, except you'll hear from the Ridgeland principals on tomorrow evening. But you are welcome to come. In Jasper County, we are student-centered and future-focused, and we are committed to finishing strong, this school year strong. The vision of Jasper County School District is creating today's learners for tomorrow's leaders. And our mission is to cultivate an environment of excellence through innovation, inspiration, and opportunities in partnership with the community. Those that have attended our monthly meetings in the past, or some of the community meetings, you know that we have 3 priorities. These are our big rocks. The first one is safety. We want to make sure that our students and our teachers are safe. We want teaching and learning to occur in safe spaces. A quality education. We want to make sure that every student receives a quality education. By 2030, the state's goal is to have at least 75% of students at the meets or above category on state assessments. And then our third is to restore trust across the district and communities. As you know, Jasper was identified as not submitting all the audits, but I can say that we are in the process of getting those audits completed. We've completed the 23-24 financials, and they are now with the auditors. We have already started working on the 24-25. And then we'll soon get to the 25-26. So we are gradually, it's a slow process, but we are making progress. At this time, we're going to share what's happening in our schools here in Hardeeville. And we will start with Hardeeville Elementary. And we will ask Dr. Vitale to come up and just give us some updates on what's happening at Hardeeville Elementary.
All right, good evening, everyone. Dr. Vitale, interim principal at Hardeeville Elementary. Thank you all for being here tonight. All right, so I created a one-pager that's coming around right now. Looking first at key initiatives. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Evans. All right, great. All right, so looking first at our key initiatives, first, pedagogy, making sure that we are providing the necessary support for all teachers. That starts with looking at the data and making sure that we are finding those foundational standards that our students need to be focusing on. Our teachers spend a lot of time with that. Small group instruction, making sure that we're targeting small group intervention and targeting the intervention needs that the data is showing us. Intentionality with data meetings, making sure that those data meetings count. Okay, well prepared, agendas ahead of time, everything's ready to go, and making a punch with it with each and every meeting that we have. Strengthening family engagement and community involvement, really important. Something that we stress in our school is trust and morale building, and that's also needs to extend into the community. We need to hold hands. We are one chain. We're going to hold hands and make a difference together. So definitely a very important thing. Some of the great things Dr. Hickson has helped us to put in place with the Beyond the Bell program for interventions, as she has in her PowerPoint as well. But that has made a major difference in our school with just getting the students the interventions that they need. We've had Saturday Academy. We've had up to 4 sessions, helping just another avenue of people dedicating time and pushing to help our students move to the next level. After-school intervention, HES allotted some funds to make sure that we can give them an even bigger punch and have an extra intervention program going at the same time as Beyond the Bell and Saturday Academy, so we can have smaller groups, and we have some of our best teachers involved in that, according to the data. Boys and Girls Club partnership with HES, just making sure that they're doing after-school homework help and then some after-school care as well. We welcome United Way volunteers into our building to do some reading interventions with our students, extra support. The more, the merrier. A plan to finish strong. Specially tailored grade level testing plans. So each grade level, 3, 4, 5, and beyond, all our grade levels have created a testing plan, looking at the data and looking at the specific students and what they need and grouping them accordingly and giving them the instruction that they need to help us have a punch when the test comes. Some program usage, we prioritize Student, which was a state initiative. It's a new program, artificial intelligence to better personalize learning, and we are excited to see the difference that that will make among some others. End of the year activities, boy, we have a lot, all right? Starting with SE Ready testing, okay? Always the last 20 days of school, we're ready for that. And we've also accompanied that with some programs and ways to motivate our students. And we, as you can see later on in my list here, we have field day. Keep them motivated, because there's a lot with test anxiety and students. You know, we want to make sure that they're motivated to push through this. We also have some raffles and donations that came in. We're excited to support our students with as well. Title I planning meetings, very important that we get the community perspective to these meetings. I do call outs and all, we have flyers, multiple languages to try to get more and more people in, because we need to hear from you. We have Career Day and Awards Day. For Career Day this year, April 1st, one of the biggest career days that we're looking at. From all the promises that we've had from the people coming in, we have like 10 to 15 people for our first session and about 10 to 15 people for our second session. We're excited for the representation that the community will have with that as well. And then we have our old school Title I meeting, kind of meshing that with Field Day to help our students, you know, our parents have an opportunity to meet with their students, have a lunch with them, but then also do a Title I meeting so that we can just get them in the doors. We really want their input. That's important to us. Moving up ceremony, kindergarten and 5th grade coming up May 22nd. And then just some data, okay? The latest data that I have there is from the winter projected proficiency, because as you can see, our STAR date is coming April 13th to the 24th. So for our data AME, we look at approaches, meets, and exceeds. For reading, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, you can see there. Reading 3rd, 26%, 4th, 40%, 5th, 48%. And then math, 3rd, 4th, 5th, you have 3rd, 50%, 4th, 46%, 5th, 56%. So, you know, as you can see, we prioritize our vision, Jasper Scholars, today's learners, tomorrow's leaders, right? And we are doing everything we can. Our teachers are doing everything we can. And, you know, I look forward to seeing community support at home as well with our students to help everybody push together, because it really, truly does take a village to make a difference. And so, thank you all. And if there are any questions, I'll take them at this time. All right, thank you.
Next we'll have
Updates from Hardyville Secondary with Principal Rayleigh.
Hey, good evening, everyone. Mr. Rayleigh, Principal, Hardyville Junior Senior High School. I just want to say thank you for you guys coming out this evening to support the Jasper County School District and the two Hardyville schools. You kind of look down for some updates. This is kind of a moving forward since our last February stakeholder meeting. One of the first things I'd like to point out is our access testing, which occurs for our students who are acquiring the English language. That English is not their first language. This is such a big task for all our schools, and especially at Hardyville Junior Senior High School, just in the sheer numbers of test sessions we have to have. And so we have 301 students in grades 6 through 12. You can do the math. All those students have to take 4 separate tests. So you start getting over 1,200 test tickets and test sessions. And I would like to say to our staff, thank you, because we get 100% of our students tested, which means, you know, it's a tough test as far as just the sheer numbers and planning. Disrupts the normal school day to get all those students tested individually. So kudos to our staff for that. Currently, we are underway with our SC Ready, as Mr. Vitelli said. SC Ready. What's different at the middle high school level is we have 2 sets of state testing. We have one for our middle school students and then one separate test for our high school students, which is our end of course testing sessions. And so our testing blitz is underway. We started that 2 weeks ago. Thank you to our district office staff. I see Ms. Young here, Mr. Burgess, and Dr. Murphy for helping us along with others during those planning sessions with our teachers. It's kind of turned out for our middle school as one big testing preparation. And I'm talking about connect teachers. Students are a little upset at me for making them do more remediation and more test prep during the next time, but it's needed. And our teachers have bought into that. Also, as Dr. Vitelli said, with our student program, we're close to a month into that program. So all our students have 65 minutes a day utilizing that particular program. And of course, we have some other remediation tools that our students are doing in their science and social study classes. And like I said, again, in Connect time. So we're kind of all in on our testing blitz. Beyond the bell, we're ranging around between 67 and 75 students, 3 days a week for our after-school tutorial. So kudos to our staff for that. Just wanted to mention, we currently have 50 dual enrollment students taking dual enrollment classes, 26 of which are seniors. So that's a good number for us, ever expanding every year. So thank you to Dr. Murphy and our team for that. We held our career fair for our high school students on March the 4th. We had a good turnout for that. We had 20 individuals and businesses and industries that came out and shared their morning with us and our students to help give them exposure into the world of their future career, or just to give them an opportunity to ask questions. Just, you know, plant that little seed. Hey, let me explore this. Or, you know, what's this involved? So that was a good opportunity for our students. We also had 2 field trips focused on CTE and career technical education. Our 8th graders went to the CTE center. We have 107 8th graders, and I think only 4 didn't sign up to go. So we sent a whole 2 bus loads over to the Cape Center. On that particular day, students had a really good time. Our 10th and 11th graders went toward BJ Ace, which is our partnership with Jasper County for our career technical school. Those programs, every year, all students in grades 8 through 12 have to complete an individual graduation plan. And so as you see here, where it says IGPs, those are still ongoing for our high school students. We held our prom this past Saturday evening. So the 2026 prom out of the way. I know it seems kind of early, but there's a lot of things going on in a high school in April and May, especially with testing and spring playoffs and Mother's Day weekend and all that. We just went ahead and held it and got it finished out of the way so we can be on that final stretch for our high school students in the course testing. Spring sports, we currently have 8 teams at the middle school and high school level participate in full schedules. You think about the numbers, that's close to 200 students in our school, out of 700 students, so just some more extracurricular activities for our students. Learn a lot of valuable lessons with each other. So we do appreciate our coaches and parents for allowing those students to participate. Upcoming events, ASVAB testing tomorrow for 10th, 11th, and 4th grade students. If you're not familiar with ASVAB, that is the military entrance exam for all branches. So we offer that at least 4 times a year, once each quarter for our students. Quarter 3 report cards go home tomorrow. Our March School Improvement Council meeting is March 31st at 6 p.m. Coming up next week, our Hardyville Junior Senior High School Theater Club will present Frozen on April the 1st. So we're excited about that. They did High School Musical back in the fall. Really great production, students love it. It's just another opportunity again for our students to be involved. Spring break for our students is April 2nd through April 10th. Once we return from spring break, our juniors will take the WIN, which is the Career Readiness Assessment, sponsored by the South Carolina Department of Education. So we're in preparations for that. We're in our instructional focus time on the high school side. And then, of course, end-of-year testing for us begins May 6th for our middle school students, and then May 19th for our high school students. So as we get closer to May, testing season and graduation. Any questions?
So as you can see, there's a lot happening in our schools, and all these activities are focused on student growth. We have our tutoring programs, we have our daily instruction, but we also have additional tutoring support so that our students finish this year strong. The goal is to improve academic achievement for all students. We want, whenever those report cards come out around September, October, we want to make sure that we have grown our students so that we have better results and better outcomes. And I truly believe that we are definitely on the road to improving those scores. Our teachers are working extremely hard. Our administrators and our support staff, they are all working together as one Jasper. And we are definitely hoping and to see that impact with our students. Some of the things that were mentioned earlier is our Beyond the Veil, which is designed to provide diagnostic instruction to small groups of students. Right now, those groups are 10 or less, so that we can tutor students, focus on skills that they have not mastered. The goal is for them to master as many grade level skills as possible, because when they take state assessment, even if they're operating, if they're a 5th grader, but they're operating on a 3rd or 4th grade level, they are required to take 5th grade assessment. So that program called Student, that program works with students on filling in the gaps. So if they are fifth grade students, they take a pre-assessment, which is the map, and that assessment identifies all of the gaps. Let's say I'm a fifth grader, but that assessment will tell me that, okay, I haven't mastered these prerequisite skills that I need in order to accomplish these fifth grade skills. So student works on filling the gaps. It helps students master skills that they need in order to master grade level standards. So they use AI to identify pathways, and each student has their own pathway. I may be struggling with fractions, whereas someone else may be struggling with measurements or geometry. But it creates an individual pathway, and students work on their individual pathway or their plan so that they're filling those gaps that they need. So we're looking forward to just seeing the outcomes of that. We started this a little late. We just started in February. We were introduced to it in January. We was able to get it started in February. But the goal is to start it at the beginning of the school year when we come back. So we will be starting student at the beginning of next year. We're also going to offer summer learning, and I'm going to talk about that shortly. But with summer learning, we will use student during that time as well. We're excited about finishing strong and just putting things in place that's going to empower not just our students and staff, because we do provide professional development for our staff because we want everyone growing. But for the first time, we're going to actually do some things to make sure that we're building strong families, strong schools, as well as improving family engagement. So in your packet, each of you should have received a folder. Some of the things that's coming, the first thing is we are going to have a back-to-school parent conference. There was a meeting held with, we invited some parents to be a part of it. We didn't have the turnout that we wanted, but we did have some parents at the table. And one of the things that we discussed was how to improve safety, what areas are still concerns out there. We talked about how we can better communicate with parents. How can we improve attendance? We talked about how can we just help parents or empower parents so that they can help their child or their scholar at home. So one of the things that we're going to do is have a back-to-school parent conference. Right now, the tentative date, and there's a sample in your folder, that tentative date is July the 25th from 9 to 1. It is a Saturday. We're going to work with the different organizations who normally give out free book bags and school supplies. We're going to partner with them so that we can all come together. Mr. Jefferson, who is now over our federal programs at Title I, one of the components of Title I is family engagement. So Mr. Jefferson is working on, with the team, on pulling this parent conference together. And if you're here today, any parents, and you're interested in being a part of the planning process, we would love to have you, and we'll gladly accept your name this evening. But if you look in your packet, there's a tentative schedule. This is what the schedule looks like. Now, it has me down as a keynote, but I will not be doing the keynote. We will have someone else coming in, but this is just a draft. I will provide remarks on that day, but we will actually have other folks coming in and presenting. And if you're a parent or a community person who would like to come and be a part of it, we will love to have you. because we plan to have vendors there. We want to have just a number of resources for our parents. We already have a very strong student services department where we have social workers and mental health counselors. Our plan would be to have these organizations present as well. It was mentioned earlier that we partner with United Way, who send in volunteers for our for literacy. We want to invite them as well. So the plan is to have a number of vendors join us for this back to school conference. The other item that we are working on is a One Jasper parent calendar. And on this calendar, it will be in the format of a regular calendar. There's a sample in your packet. The sample just has a couple of months, but it will have all 12 months. And on that calendar, we'll have a list of every event that's happening in the district. The goal will be to take the little small calendar that you receive and have that information on an actual calendar. That calendar will include the dates for school improvement council meetings. It will have the dates for games, the athletic games. The goal is to have all the information that's needed for parents. We will also include some important policies in the calendar as well. And these will be calendars that come, policies that comes under the J policy, which are your student policies. We will have a few of those in the inside the calendar as well, to include vaccinations. There's a few required vaccinations that students are required to take. We're going to push and encourage parents to take care of those things during the summer, so that when school starts, we don't want it to interfere with attendance. And sometimes that interferes with attendance when it's not done. And for our calendar, we actually, Mr. Jefferson sent out information for our art contest, because we want our students to be a part of this calendar, and we will select student work for the cover of the calendar. So again, we are very excited about publishing this One Jasper calendar. This calendar will be ready by the time we do open house, so that every parent will receive a copy of the calendar, as well as community members and businesses, churches. We want them to have a copy of the calendar as well. And another thing that we're excited about is the upcoming summer learning camps. We usually have summer school. I think last year they had the Read to Succeed for our third graders. That is required. Students who do not score meets or exceeds the potential results come out, and we look at our benchmarks. Our benchmark predicts their performance levels. So we identify students who we feel are still not mastering grade level skills in reading, and we offer a Read to Succeed camp for our third graders. That camp is also tied to promotion. So we encourage, we will identify those students, have those meetings with parents, and encourage students to participate in that summer camp. There will be other learning opportunities that we're going to offer as well. We want to identify and locate as many summer learning opportunities as possible, and have our students be a part of that. And some of the possible camps listed here. First of all, the reason we're doing these summer learning camps is that research shows that students can lose academic progress over the summer. There's a thing called summer slide, And for some of our students, if we do not have programs in our schools, they may not have those opportunities to continue to engage in learning. So that is one reason we want to make sure that we're keeping our scholars engaged in learning, growing, and having fun. The other thing is, whenever we offer these summer camps, it's an opportunity for students to learn and be exposed to learning. Sometimes, you hear a lot about the achievement gap, but I truly believe, and there's research that supports this theory that there is an opportunity gap, not just a academic achievement gap, but the gap is a result of students not being exposed to other activities and learning activities, those hands-on activities. So some of the things that we'll be doing is offering summer school. The first part of summer school will be in June. It will start June 2nd through the 18th. Right now, we're looking at both campuses, but again, it will depend on enrollment. And some of the camp opportunities are listed here. We want to make sure we have more than just our third grade reading camp. We want to have something for our 4K, our kindergartners, who we've already identified as needing that additional support so that we can catch them early. We want to have a STEM camp. We want to identify colleges that are offering camps for our students. I know Allen University normally offers a STEM camp for 9th, 10th, 11th graders. There are other universities that offer camps as well. USC normally offers an engineering camp for your 8th graders. So our goal is to identify these camps. Another camp that we're looking at offering is a chef culinary camp. One of the things that you can see in this area from Hardyville, or Ridgeland, Hardyville, and off 278, there are a lot of restaurants. And there are a lot of opportunities for our students to go into the hospitality area. So we are looking at bringing someone to do a culinary camp with our students. The goal right now is to offer a culinary camp for our elementary, and then one for our secondary. And with that, I have a little clip that I'm going to show you in a few minutes. But we now have a tennis court. We had Mr. Lilly, I think it's Lilly, a community person who was very instrumental in giving us a grant to support this project. Well, the tennis court is now ready. We plan to have a ribbon cutting at some point, and he's planning to come. But we want to make sure we start to utilize that beautiful court. We want to hopefully have a camp where we identify students who are interested in tennis and have someone to start this summer with teaching tennis to our students. Again, it's a beautiful, beautiful court that they've completed over there, and we really want to make sure that we start to utilize that. It's truly a great opportunity for our students. Again, our goal is to provide high-quality learning experiences that prevent summer loss, learning loss, and continue to close the achievement gap. So I mentioned that one of the camps that we're looking at is a chef camp, and I've already communicated.
Sorry, that took so long. Let's be honest, a lot has happened.
I've already communicated with the person that won. How many of you have seen Hell's Kitchen, the food competition? Well, this person won, I think it was season 13. She's from South Carolina, and she has agreed to come and do the camp for our students. So I want you to see this person that won that's planning to come to Jasper County.
Sorry that took so long, let's be honest, a lot has happened. Latasha, you were rock solid, and it was no surprise that you were the only person never to be put up for elimination. Young lady, you belong in the kitchen. Brian, you finished stronger than anybody. You were born to cook. You both came out top. That's why this decision has been so difficult. But after much thought, I've made my decision. Please step up to your doors.
I want this so bad. This will solidify that I am good. I am great.
Place your hand on top of your hand.
I'm proud of everything that I've done here. I let my actions speak for me day in, day out. Now, you're the best chef wins.
The chef whose door opens will become the winner of Hell's Kitchen and become head chef at the brand new Gordon Ramsay Pub and Grill with Caesars Entertainment in Atlantic City with a salary of $250,000. Latasha and Brian, on the count of 3, turn your hand. 1, 2, 3.
So this is the young lady that's going to come do the camp for our kids.
I'm pinching myself. I'm slapping myself. Is this really happening?
Is Chef Matt this season, but this could be any Jasper student.
If I'm dreaming, please don't wake me up. Thank you.
Young man, you've done your family proud, you've done me proud, and you've done yourself proud. Walk down those stairs with mine. Come on, I want to.
So hard.
So we're excited that she's going to be coming here to do 2 camps. Again, that's just one of the camps. The goal is to offer as many learning opportunities as possible that's aligned to students' interests. We have a survey that's going to go out. That survey, I think you received a copy. That's right, is that correct? Yes. So on that survey, it's just asking questions about the parents. It's a parent survey, but we're asking questions about their child. We want to know their passion. We want to know their talents, because if we start now aligning learning to their talents, the student's going to start to improve their academic achievement, because now it's aligned to their interests. And we hope to see this roll over into the regular school year. But also, it will start to help students identify their pathway, because when they get to high school, when they get to Mr. Rayleigh's level, we need students graduating career ready, college and career ready. And we already know 90% of our students are not going to college. They're not going to a 4-year college. And there's research out there for South Carolina school students. 90+% of our students do not attend a 4-year college. The 8% that they've identified that do go to college, only about 6% of them actually go and finish. So with that being said, we need to really focus on trying to make sure students leave high school with certifications. In your folder, I actually gave you, there's a sheet that has BJAs. It's the current numbers of students who are enrolled at BJA. At BJ's, it's a career center. They have culinary arts there. They have building construction there. They have CNA, and there's cosmetology is there. So those are opportunities. And then at our high school, we have a number of areas where they can get certifications as well. But I wanted to share that one pager because we just had a governance meeting, and we really need to encourage more students. I was glad to hear that we've done these field trips to take our 8th graders so that they could see what's being offered. We also set it up for our party bill to go over to the Career Center at Ridgeland as well, because we want to get those students involved in those career classes over there as well. Right now, the numbers are low. We're not maximizing the offerings that we have, so we are working to improve that area. And if you look at the numbers, I think the last 2 columns represent Jasper, Hardyville, and Ridgeland. I think they're on the far end. But as you can see, we only have 32 students currently being served the spring semester at BJA. And I don't have the numbers for the Career Center, but I can assure you we have plenty of space to serve additional students. So again, the goal is to get more students certified when they walk across the stage at graduation. We want them to not only have their high school diploma, but we want them to have certifications. And we're excited that we do have about 16 students, is that right, Dr. Murphy, that will be graduating with their associate degree or other certifications this coming year in May. So we're on the right track. We just want to get more because, again, we would love for 90+% of our students to walk across stage with certifications. And even if they're going to college, it's good to get those certifications, and now they can earn money while they earn their additional degrees. So we want to make sure that we are, again, making sure all of our students graduate college and are career ready. Are there any questions for us?
What are some of the feedback that we're getting for reasons for lack of participation?
So I will say one of the things, when I got here, I visited the area, and I'm not sure if the lack is communication. I do know there are plans to expand the offerings, because right now there are not a lot of offerings there. I mean, you have your building construction. I think they may have electricity. There may be like 4 programs, 5 max there. But if you really look at the trends of what's happening as far as businesses and industries that students need to be going into, there's a need to have additional offerings. And I do know the district already has plans in place to expand their career buildings. Right now, there's one in Ridgeland, and I know there are plans to eventually have one in Hardyville. But there's a need for things like HVAC, IMT, battery, where students learn how to do the battery because of the electric cars. Just a number of things that is currently not offered. So I think just aligning more with their interests. They talked earlier about those IGPs, that individual graduation plan. just doing a better job of aligning with students' interests and then having more offerings that align with their interests. They might take more pathways or more programs if we had more to offer. And I think even on our side, just doing a better job of exposing students to these careers. I think exposure is just key. Any other questions? Mr. Ray?
So, thinking back there, so it's a joint partnership, reporter from Jasper and Beaufort. So we don't get to do the slot in Jasper. So we're talking about what, 25%?
Yeah, 33% for the target.
But we're not utilizing our 33.
So there's a path, just ask them, not able.
Right. So I mean, let's say if I got 160 units, just looking at this number, 25, I had 23 personnel. So that's pretty typical, it's not the base force, so I had 48 kids out of my 100, like candidates, somewhere around 25% of each class.
But you are correct. Right now is third Jasper, 2/3 Beaufort. And they have this partnership where Jasper has finances toward the operations, and Beaufort also has a certain amount, 2/3 towards operations. But even with that, we're still not utilizing the amount of seats that we have available.
One of the caveats is, and we're looking to address this in the calendar, is that they use this, Jupiter calendar as their model. So be that is one of our, the Jupiter calendar. Our calendar has necessarily mirrored or look, closely like that. So you would have kids who had this initially, and then because this was the nuance of, like, they start late or start early, or there's some issues with that. And so you don't gain attention quickly to keep them interested, and the students have to sit on campus waiting for the classes to start. They tend to lose interest, and then with their peer group say, hey, I think I'm just get out of this. But that is something that is looking to be addressed, to have a calendar that somewhat mirrors what youth is doing, at least in Washington.
So you should have this is a draft of the calendar. It's 98% ready. There are a couple of things that we're going to look at modifying, which is graduation date. But pretty much this is 98, 99% ready. But what we did with this calendar, we actually collaborated with Beaufort and BJA to make sure that we have calendars that are more aligned than the current calendar. So right now, we may be off by maybe 3 days, but on this calendar, our spring breaks, we will have spring break at the same time as Beaufort and BJA. So there are a lot of things that are similar this time. Currently, there's a difference, a pretty significant difference, but for this new calendar, Ms. Young and her team worked on this, and it's very, very close. So that was one of the areas that we had to address, that Mr. Baines shared. Mr. Burgess?
May I come at it from a different look? Just like the law in school, right? I tell the story all the time, I'm saying to you, even in school as a student, I was pushed, college was pushed on me. No matter whatever first place, my GPA, whatever, college was pushed on me. Back then, I didn't want to do it, so I assumed that all the students who weren't as academic and kind as I was, those were the ones who took all the trades. Well, today, those students are way more advanced, financially better off financially, but they went that way, right? So there was, even then, my point is back then, there was choice. So even now, like, students now have even more choice. So we recruit, we have IGPs, individualized records and plans that the law, like we have to, the guidance counselors, career specialists, administrators in schools. So there's an ongoing process to ensure, and it starts in the elementary school. We start talking about careers, good career systems. So the students are exposed to this even in elementary school, first specialists, and then middle school, more school, and then by high school, by the sophomore year, that is when at the end of that sophomore year, they then claim that name, which is a law now, right? Everyone has to go in some type of pathway, right? To answer your question, why aren't there more students there? That's the purpose of it. I'm not saying that's the main purpose, but the main purpose is to get parents involved so they can help encourage their children to like, okay, these are the choices we have. However, you can't force them to make a choice. So they still, you can thank the parents, whatever you want to do, it's our job to be the children. I don't want to be the children to the adults, especially if you take the program. I know what they do. I know what those programs bring in the students. However, they still have to make the decision. So that's another reason why the CFON still no one can't force them to. They have to want to. That's one of the things that we do.
And that's a great point.
The reason why I brought it up is because the 90%, that are not going to college, right? We would think it would be transition to that for these days, with the remaining percentage of students. So that's the only reason I raised what those challenges were, but that is great.
My point, I guess, to that is you're right, but not in 90%, it's always been. Like this is new. A lot of schools, there were more students not going to college than they were going. So it's just a different day, but that situation is the same. It's just about encouraging them, giving them all the knowledge. Sometimes say, arming them with the knowledge so that they can make a decision based on their future. That's going to be profitable to them.
And that's a great point because, and I'm coming to you, Dr. Valiant. Mr. Burgess made several great points. One has always been this way. The difference is now it's reported on the school report card, whether the students are career ready, college ready. And years ago, they didn't report it. Secondly, we as educators, we have to do a better job sharing with students we have to show them those options. Because even when I came through, it was like you had to go to college or you should go to college. And if not, we didn't even hear anything about careers. But we need to educate the students so that they know that, hey, you can be an electrician and make some good money, but we have to show them that. They need to know that with HVAC, students can really graduate with their certifications in HVAC. Let your air go out. In the summer, you're going to pay whatever it takes to get it back on. But our students need to know how powerful of a career that is. So a lot of that is on us as well. Yes, for parents as well, but we have to educate our parents. Because I know growing up for me, my parents just wanted to, want you to go to college. There are so many careers out there. And if we start to share that and share the salary that's attached to it, then they'll see that they can save a lot of money by going the career track so that they don't end up paying for student loans. Even in your 50s and 60s, you're still paying for student loans. So, but I think it's a lack of what Mr. Burgess said. We just got to educate our parents, educate our students, and it starts with us. We just have to do a better job. Dr. Ballard.
Just want a little clarification for you, in case you have the idea that only 15 or 30, 40 of our kids go to get a career experience. That's just the beauty of it. Ridgewood has a career center, and virtually every kid who's a junior and senior goes through and gets some sort of career preparation. The idea would have the referendum to do that, is to put one of those here in Hardyville. So again, all of the Hardyville kids will have the experience and the opportunity to have a career training program right on the campus. One of the issues we had with BJA's is it takes you a half an hour to get there and half an hour to get back. These are the last kids that maybe lose an hour a day of education. And I think some of the kids, the distance, some of the kids, it's the fact that you have to leave your home school and your friends, go to a brand new place where most of the kids are from different countries. So it's a different kind of environment. It's probably good for a life. And a question for you. You said, and I know this is true for that 90% of our kids do not go to college. That's been that way for a long time. I thought you said that that's also true in South Carolina. It is.
The Education Oversight Committee did a survey, and I can try to get that data for you, but yes, it was South Carolina.
So only about 10% of South Carolina kids go to college.
Go to college and finish.
Okay. And it also play in my over 40%.
Yes, sir. Any other questions? Again, thank you so much for coming. We do have a meal back here. You can, I think we have some takeout plates. Okay, so please take a plate with you so you don't have to go home and cook. There's probably enough for you to take two. But we really appreciate you coming out, and if there's anything we can do, any questions you may have even after this meeting, please do not hesitate to reach out to us. Have a great evening.
No, that's a good idea. I don't want to do that.